Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I got my good buddy Brystan. He got a chance to dyno his truck that we built probably 2 years ago or so. First time he's got to dyno it. He did it this weekend. We're gonna go over and do a quick video on it, just see where the day leads us, but give you a rough rundown on the setup on it, the dyno sheet on it. We do not have track times to back that up right now, but we do have plans in the future to get him into racing. So we're gonna go over, show you around the truck and everything, and just see where the day goes. But beginning of this video, I want to say thank you to everybody that's subscribing, watching all the videos. I hope some of them are helpful, and I hope that you enjoy watching them. And thank you once again. Hit that like button and subscribe. Thank you. Alright, so this is Brystan's 04.5 6-liter truck that we built probably, was it 2 years ago? Yeah. Probably roughly 2 years ago or so. Just do a quick overview of it and everything like that. 04.5 Harley truck. Engine set, he just got done dynoing it, made 612 horsepower and 1,112 foot-pounds of torque. Could make more, a little bit more than that. I've made 700 on this exact setup. We may do a little tweaking on it. We want to get it to the track, do some data logging and everything, and go from there. But the setup on it is a KC 68 millimeter, so they're stage 3. That is not their new Jetfire one, the ball bearing. 205/75 Warren injectors. Built low pressure oil pump. We put an engine in this truck. Did a stage 2 cam. It's bored 30 over. did a billet low pressure oil pump so we could turn some RPMs out of it. Then we did all his intercooler piping while we had it apart. Took a front cover and everything, had Garrett do everything. It's illusion orange that we powder coated everything. Trying to think of what else we've done to it. It was lifted. I think what did it have on a 4.5 inch lift?
Yeah.
Took it off, put it back to a stock height. We took everything off the wrecked Harley truck that you see in the videos in the shop, put it under it to get it back low. Reverse leveled it, took the block out of the rear. We've got a Fickum tune on it from Warren as well, so that's something that does play into your fuel limiting and everything. You will hit rev limiter on it at about 3,800 RPM. It'll start pulling fuel. So when you tune your Fickum, it does change that, so you can turn more RPMs out of it and keep the fuel table going. But it made good power. We're pretty happy with it. Brystans camera shine.
XTP fuel system.
Yeah, it's got a, here, let me see the camera. So here it is, illusion orange powder coat on everything. Kind of go with a Harley type theme. It's got Mishimoto boots throughout with their clamps. A couple polished accents we took off of my black truck. Still has Diggis bottle, no limit intake. We did valve covers, front cover, everything. It does have a full XDP fuel system on it, so regulate, return, fuel bowl, delete. Got an Air Dog 165 on it, does great. It is sumped. We use bean sumps, but it's got a turbo blanket on it from, I think it's PTP, I forget. Yeah, PTP. As of right now, still has a full exhaust system on it. We may or may not be doing something different with it. We are going to get rid of all this, get some electric fans on it so that we can turn a little bit more and don't have to worry about it bogging everything down. But yeah. So we've got Derek Kegley at Proform Fabrication. He does all our 4-links and traction bars and everything. These are also powder coated in illusion orange. Did black brackets on it. I think it turned out really well. These are, what are these, Bryson? 22 by 10s or 20 by 10s?
20 by 12s.
20 by 12s. So a 20 by 12 Fuel Maverick, the 2-piece wheels, and then 305, 50, 20 hand-cooked Dyno Pros. He's got it all detailed up and pretty here. Yeah, beautiful Harley truck. Yeah, he done a good job on it.
Those head gaskets right off for the crowd.
So just right quick, while I'm thinking of everything that actually is done to Brystans' truck, you put me on the spot and I can't think. So roughly 2 years ago, a truck was brought to me. They had a previous shop had just got done studding it, and they brought it over here and it had a lifter chirp. Immediately, you know what that sound is. Immediately means gonna need an engine. A lot of times you can get lucky and get away with maybe putting a cam in it and maybe putting lifters in it, but I mean a lot of times there's no point. So at that point we decided to go ahead and get a short block from Asheville, and had them put their drop-in stage 2 cam in it. Everything else is pretty much stock. It's got 30 over pistons in it. They're not fly cut or anything. Did that. It does not have rods in it. Don't think we're going to ever do compounds on it or anything like that, so there's really no point in putting rods in it. Put it back together. We had Randy do the heads, ring the heads, and put some high rev springs in there. Yeah, so we've got ringed heads. We use Ford OEM head gaskets. That's all I like to use. Can't use Fel Pros or anything like that when you ring the heads. So Ford OEM gaskets throughout the entire truck. It's studded. We did not do 625s. It's just got ARP blacks in it. I don't have a problem with those usually, unless we're going insanely high with it and spraying it and stuff like that. Usually I'd like to bump up, but ARP's on international back order with those, so we left them alone. Went ahead and did that. Then we did 205 75s from Warren, a KC drop in their 68 millimeter stage 3. I don't know if I've talked about that setup or not, but it's the exact same setup I ran on the black truck, my personal black truck, and it got like 21 miles to the gallon. You could drive it just about anywhere you want it. I mean, it's a fantastic setup. It makes good power. So like I said, he just dynoed it this weekend. It made 612 horsepower, 1112 or 1153 foot-pounds of torque. I actually made 700 on that and 1253 foot-pounds of torque on that exact same setup. The only difference is his does not have an O-Dogs on it. At the time, you couldn't get them. They had pulled them off the market because of the EPA stuff, and as far as I know, they're still pretty hard to come across. So it still has a stock intake on it. We may or may not change that. I know that we can pick up a decent amount of power just from that. It does have a clutch fan still on it. I do like to get rid of it and put E-fans on it. That way, it does help. That is pretty much the only difference on that truck between what I made on it, and I had track times to back up the 700 horsepower. So I think we may or may not pursue that. I think Bryson's pretty happy with the truck right now, so we may leave it alone. But I mean, great running truck, does awesome. He got it back, and within a month he had the trans ripped out of it. So we pulled trans, took trans to Marshall's, which is a local transmission shop to us. We've got a guy that does all our builds on those. So it's still a 5R truck. Got a billet Suncoast converter in it, Suncoast internals throughout it, and it's been doing great so far. That's really about it. He seems really happy with the truck. Like I said, he had it all jacked up. We ended up pulling the lift kit completely out of it, dropping it down to stock height, and removing the block from the rear so it was leveled. And we put Bilstein shocks throughout. And so I think we may or may not be trying to get him a drag tire set up so that we can get him into racing. And once we get some track times to back it up, we'll back up his, his dyno numbers and everything. We are probably going to be running down to my buddy Logan's shop to put it on a different dyno, and I wasn't able to go to the event this weekend, so I'd like to go down there, do some data logging on it so I can see what's going on. And I think we're going to ghetto fog it and see what we can make out of it, just ghetto fogging it. And then he may or may not potentially be putting a kit on it, and then we'll go from there. But that's one of the trucks that I'm going to focus on the channel as well. I'm pretty proud of that truck. We put a lot of time into it. So yeah, so Illusion orange powder coat, if anybody's curious. Illusion orange on everything, front cover, valve covers, intake manifold, turbo, charge pipes, everything's Illusion orange. And I think he's going to have the truck repainted and may or may not try and do some pinstriping along those color schemes. But that's really about the gist of it. It also has full, like I said in the other video, full XDP fuel system. So their regulator return, their fuel bowl delete, and we just run a 6.4 oil bowl. I don't like it when people hack the bowl off. It looks like shit in my opinion. So 6.4 oil bowl. It has an AirDog 165 4G on it. I don't think the 5Gs were out at the time that we had built the truck. Bean sump. We did up pipes on it. We pretty much did everything on the truck. I mean, we touched on every bit of it. A custom tuned Fickum from Warren. I think we did the exact same setup on my black truck, which is a 2.6 millisecond pulse width tune. If you're gonna do that, I will let you know that it does jack EGTs up pretty high, but you know, it does make more power, and you can pair that. Just when you do that, pair it with your tune, your actual ECM tune, and just let that tuner know, and then they mess with it on the tables. But it has Warren custom tunes on it as well. We're running their Hot Street tune. I think I put him like a 3 tune pack on that, but we just leave it on Hot Street. It has a 6.4 exhaust back pressure sensor on it that I like to put on when we put the stage 3s on. It keeps the fueling table going a little bit longer, and you can make a little bit more power off that, especially when you got, you know, a big charger like the stage 3 is. That's really it. So the transmission, I did AN lines from the trans all the way up to a Mishimoto cooler. Got rid of the filter, put a 6.4 pan on it with a 6.4 transmission filter, and you can delete your external filter that's on the frame rail up front. Get rid of it, and then just run your line straight to the cooler. Real nice. I do that on all my trucks when I put a transmission in them. I don't like, nobody ever changes that toilet paper filter anyway, so just get rid of it. Cleans the truck up a lot. But yeah, I mean, that's really about it. Alright guys, so that's pretty much going to do it for this video. Just wanted to touch up on Brystans' truck there and make a video on it, and do a quick detail on my wash truck there before the storm rolled in here. I do not recommend you wash your truck like that, by the way. None of my trucks get washed like that. I'm just trying to beat a storm real quick and get the truck pulled back in before it rains. But yeah, I'm gonna close it out there. Once again, thank you all so very much for subscribing and liking the videos and everything. Y'all are awesome. See ya.